Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Bunny 3000. I'm here for Heed Magazine's Geekswagg crew, and basically, we are here on behalf of Double Fine and a game that is called Massive Chalice. Now, let me go ahead and jump into this. Now, the intent of this game really is essentially I heard about this game while I did a search trying to figure out if I could find a game that was similar to XCOM but kind of had a more fantasy or medieval feel to it. And as I was looking around, Double Fine's Massive Chalice game, as you see here, came up. And the whole intent of this game basically is this realm, which is basically an island that you see here, is being surrounded by a pestilence or demons, things, a corruption, and the corruption is basically seeping into the land, and your home base or whatever, or home castle is here in the middle, and the only way you can get rid of it is to use a magical weapon that takes 300 years to actually actuate. So what you are charged to do is to lead your armies against this pestilence and save the land. And in the meantime, your people or your soldiers or whatever, they're going to live and die over these 300 years. So you basically have to set up your kingdom in a way that you're going to have a lot of babies, and these babies will become your soldiers, and these soldiers will become more experienced, and then they'll die. So it's almost like you know how in XCOM you'll get your soldiers, you'll build them up, and then you'll give them weapons and all this other kind of stuff and all their experience, and then they'll basically stay with you through the entire match. Well, not here. The highest I've gotten one of these characters is maybe up to level 5 or 6 or something like that, and then they die of old age if they don't die in the middle of a match to begin with, which I'm probably going to end up doing here. But as you can see here, this is the map. It basically plays out the same way that an XCOM game would, only you don't have cover. You basically tell your guys where you want to go. The map shows you where they can go to, and you've got different little special attacks and abilities that each one of your characters can use. As you can see here, each one of the characters has heraldry, which basically just shows who the parents are. The parents basically dictate all the traits. The traits dictate special abilities, whether it affects their actual fighting stats or other stats, or whether it affects other things that have to do with the game. And what makes that important is, as you're going through, you're going to have additional soldiers, and each one of these soldiers are going to have children, and the children are going to have traits passed down from their parents. So you kind of want certain parents to be the ones that actually become the dukes or baronesses or whatever it's considered, kings and queens, regent, they call them regents, and what's the other word, regent, and something with a V, whatever. So as you can see here, you keep going through, they'll get up to a certain level and they'll die of old age. So you have to keep tabs on all of your kids and all the different things that you set up for all of your kingdoms. So let's do a little bit more of the gameplay here so you can see what's going down. And I mean, for the most part, this part of the game plays almost exactly like XCOM does. There's not really much of any difference at all. The one thing that I will say about the combat is, what they've done with the character classes is interesting. It's not your typical, hey, I have an archer, hey, I have a fighter, hey, I have a thief, hey, I have a so-and-so. These are like alchemists, boom strikers, hunters. They're just all different kinds of interesting names and stuff that they use for different classes. So it's slightly out of the ordinary. I think it works. I still think they could probably use some more classes. The ones that they have are okay. And they've kind of done that. They have what's called hybrid classes, which you can mix like a hunter and an alchemist to get, I think, like I forget what it's called. One of these, it's like a true strike or trick shot, something like that is what it's called. So I think they end up with a decent amount of hybrid classes by the end of the game, based off of all of your all of the parents, what their classes are and what classes their kids can become. Because of course they have to train them in whatever their character class is. So it's always interesting to see those kind of things happen, and in this game it definitely happens a lot. What kind of separates this from XCOM, I guess you would say, is number one, like I said before, it's a medieval style game. So what you end up doing is, everything is in that kind of a setting. I know this game is still in early access. So one of the things that, people kind of have to remember is that it's not done yet. They're continuously adding material and content to the game. So what we see here today is not the finished product. I'm not certain if they've slated a release date for this quite yet. I think they still have a little ways to go before they're ready for this thing to be released. I kind of like this art style. I guess it's suitable for what it's trying to do. I could see somebody looking at this and saying, okay, this is not necessarily appealing, but I mean, when you're dealing with strategy games, that really shouldn't be that much of a big deal. You want it to have depth, to have difficulty, and me personally, I kind of want it to have strategy on top of all of that stuff, you know what I mean? Exploration, great combat, lots of options, lots of customization, just different elements that kind of pull you into the storyline and pull you into what you're actually trying to do. It's kind of hard to get into this storyline as it is. I get the concept, but the story as it goes along basically has more to do with whether or not you can set up the right dynasty to get the kind of characters that you really want and need to survive in this game. And we're going to see whether or not I can survive this battle. Right now, I am in a very, very, very bad position when it comes to my game. I'll show you once I get through this battle, because my group is not... nice shot. Done a very good job in having kids at all. So that's where all of y'all were. That didn't work. These guys are simple. I'm not worried about them. Him, I'm worried about. As he hits you, he ages you. Ugh. Take him out. Boom. Lay him down. Kill him. You suck. There we go. So let's see. Bet you there's a bunch of enemies over there on the other side of that. Yep, yes there are. We're gonna do a couple of throws. Took somebody out. You should be proud of that toss. Good shot. Nice. Only a glancing blow. Oh, you suck. You suck. Thank you. That was a guess right there. Not worried about him. Stay right there. Perfect lineup. Perfect lineup. Perfect lineup. Oh, good toss. Good toss. Sit down. And he's gonna shoot right through both. Ah, good. Oh, that was a risk. Ran right by him. Forgot he was over there. Yacht slappage.
Watching this was just like seeing the battle at Screed's Gate again. We didn't tell you about that one, did we?
I don't believe so. Screed's Gate, House of the Thieves without houses.
So as you just saw, we won this match, and these guys, some of these guys went up levels, but they did not get what is called skill points. Those are only gained at certain levels, and I've never gotten a guy up high enough to get any of those levels before they die. I'm certain there's ways to do it, but I just never did. Also, you can equip them with different things. I don't know why I gave this guy 2 different things of Wonder Pants, because all they do is protect from aging and memory loss attacks, and I should have put on something else for this particular character. So like this character has increases max health by that. This is really good armor that I had. This guy has a weapon that's been passed down through generations that does extra damage. This is the way I needed it set up. Wonder Pants and Vitality Brand. If you haven't noticed, they kind of have a slight bit of a sense of humor here. I mean, if you played Iron Brigade or whatever it was called on the Xbox One, you know, they kind of had a sense of humor in that game as well. It was another strategy game, but it was a little bit more action strategy game. Very, very good game if you haven't played it. So let's take a look at the other strategy elements that Massive Chalice has. As you can see, the map is split up into different regions. Yeah, that's great. As you can see, each one of the regions you can place a structure on. This structure has what is called a Sage Rights Guild. This guild allows you to have higher research points if you add people to it. Let's see, we are going to stick. Yeah, Sun. children, and these vanguards are like kings, which is why I don't want to take them out of the roles that they're in right now. But as you can see, as you put people in these sage right roles, it increases the research bonus, and this is what I'm researching. Also, they have a guild that is called the Crucible, and what the Crucible does is the Crucible adds XP to trainees, as well as personality traits that can be passed down to trainees. I did not make a very good decision with this one, mainly because she was all that was available at the time. I wanted something that I could pass down traits, and she had the best traits, and that's what it boiled down to, as well as everyone being. So once you've got those guilds all set up, what you regularly have, this is home base, is what is called regular keeps. These keeps, basically, you end up going to them, and you set up regents and their partners. Each one of these, they give you a chance for kids. So this is the only kid that these two have currently. I'm hoping they work this out. Brutalist, as you can see here, is another hybrid character class that comes out of a Boomstriker and a Caberjack. The Caberjacks basically have like really big hammers that they swing. They're more like regular fighters. As you can tell, I have no fighters right now. I'm trying to build a keep here. Each one of these squares that are in this diamond looking square basically tells you how much corruption is in each region. So right now I'm partially screwed. If they decide to say I need to choose between this region and this region the next time they attack, one of them's gonna die. One of the areas is gonna fall. I think I've already had one area down here fall. I'm not doing too bad, but I need to build another keep. This keep is being built. I should have built it here for fertility boost. So that's really all you can do. You can look at what's here. You can assign new regents and partners to areas that don't have them, and then of course you can change the research here that the whole kingdom is going to do, and you can research different structures, research new armor for the different types of character classes, research new weapons for their character classes. Some of these require certain kinds of kills before you can research them. Different items, these help a lot. And you can also research to get kids. If you don't have enough people to use, which is probably going to be the next thing that I do, then you research that. Recruitment boosts. I have no idea what that means, but I'm probably going to need this soon. And this tells you all the research that you've done. So let's see. Let me go ahead and let this time scroll forward a bit so you can see how everything
All of ruling
progresses.
is choices, isn't it?
Fight here, yes. Use this, no. Did he do it? Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. That's ruling.
They're both counting region statuses. Peter to talk with them. He's 17 years old. What is he gonna do? Passionless personality. These little events changes some of their personalities as well, which is very interesting. Decrease fertility. as you can see, as it goes along, different partners and regents, they die. And when they die, you have to go through and assign new partners. And unfortunately, Decimus does not have a very high chance of having children. So we're just going to pick anybody. And hopefully something comes anyways. Once you select, that's all you can do. You can't kick them off the throne. He's dead. Heroes to marry. Oh, that sucks. You're just gonna have to sit there on the throne by yourself. Guild. I need to add somebody in here. We're gonna stick Paul in here because he has the vision. We can't add too many because if we do, we're not gonna have anyone to fight. And that would be bad. Alright. New keep. Ooh. High fertility. Preview. No partner. Goodness. Which means we need two heroes. Adopt a baby girl. Fast. Heroes. Plain and simple. This is not going to go very well. Right. Baby girl. He's a boom striker. He's a boom striker. And those are boom strikers, so let me guess. Boom strikers. You are quick, but a slow learner. Very impressionable. I don't know if that's good or not. So part 2. Group of new heroes because we need them. We need them bad. But as you can see, since this is an early access game, in my opinion, there's just not enough world building, you know, here in this game. It's that's the difficulty you have. We only got 3 guys that we can use. underpants. We are going to get rid of those and put those on instead. And then Zaylin. She's young. Underpants for you. Nope. Taliban. And that's all we can stick on here. That's all we got. Probably gonna lose this battle. Gonna have even less heroes to deal with.
There's a stillness to the air right before battle, like the world is taking a deep breath.
But
Knock the
essentially,
wind out.
ladies and gentlemen, that is what Massive Chalice is. Once again, Double Fine, they have a very good knack for strategy games, so you know the strategy element in these games are going to be on point. They're going to have options. I'm hoping that the out-of-battle options are going to grow along with the actual choices of hybrid classes and stuff like that. I think that's good and all. It ends up having great options for the different kinds of attacks they can use, but because these guys don't last for very long, you know, it makes you wonder how much those, you know, lower, higher level skills are in terms of trying to get to. But maybe you guys will have better luck when you guys play. Either way, Massive Chalice is out there. You should definitely check it out. It's a pretty fun game, and it's still in early access, so keep that in mind as you play it. And hopefully you guys, I'll see you out there in the Matrix. Dun, 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 dun. Deuces.